Hi there. It's your buddy Fractured Logic here. So, I haven't posted to this channel in a long time, simply due to the fact that this is kind of my ranting channel, and I really haven't had anything to bitch about. But I've been watching a lot of media, left and right based, and I've really come to a conclusion that on the left side of things, especially Democrats, because let's face it, not every leftist is a Democrat, and not every Democrat is an extreme leftist. Now, I know you might be confused by that, but because by definition, if you're on the left, you're a Democrat and vice versa. But, that's along the political spectrum. And it's not quite that simple anymore, which I guess it never really was that simple. But the insanity from the left has gotten much more extreme. So it's to kind of paint the picture of the difference. You can have democratic values, but when you take those to an extreme, like socialized everything, that's being on the left. Extreme left, Left leaning, whatever, you can still be a Republican and be left leaning, it's I don't know. If you really want to know, look up governmental spectrum or something like that. I think that's what it's called. Anyway, whatever. I'm getting off topic. So anyway, I've noticed from the left something that's actually rooted in psychology. And Dr. Jordan Peterson actually helped me kind of formulate this thought process from watching his videos and seeing how intelligent he speaks, and he's very deliberate with his language and things like that. But what I'm seeing is a lot of projection. The Democrats accuse Republicans of being racist, yet the Democrats are the party that fought for slavery. The Democrats are the party that enacted Jim Crow laws. The Democrats are the party that's destroying America. I swear I haven't been snorting, anything. I just got an itch. But anyway, I've seen this distinct pattern over and over and over again, and it's from the top down. Everybody's accusing Donald Trump of being this criminal that needs to be impeached, and focusing on his affair with Stormy Daniels, which was way before he became president. Now, if there was hush money being passed from his campaign, okay, but there's been no evidence of that. Michael Cohen was reimbursed for his services because he's on retainer. That's what happens when you're a lawyer and you're on retainer. You do what needs to be done, and then they pay you later. That's every lawyer that's ever been on retainer ever. It's like having law insurance. You pay it even if you don't need it. That way it's there for when you do need it. So there's been absolutely no proof of Trump covering things up. There's been no proof of Russian collusion. Yet there were Russians that were affecting or attempting to affect the outcome of our election. But I'm quite sure there are other countries that have hackers as well that were attempting to affect our election. And this wasn't state-sponsored. You know, we attacked Syria because we thought, and I don't know how correct it is, but we thought that Assad had gassed his own people. Russia said, don't do it. If you do, there's going to be retribution. There's going to be retaliation from us. Trump did it anyway. So if he was in collusion with the Russians, why would he do that? It doesn't make logical sense. Just saying. The other thing is that while give me a second. I'm trying to formulate thoughts in my head properly. There's just it's all projection, you know. They're the Democrats are the racists. The Democrats are the sexists. They're the ones that have this group think, this group mentality. They don't want to focus on individualism because individualism is bad. They've been slamming Kanye West because he has individual thoughts. You know, I'm going to tell you right now, I don't like everything Donald Trump does. I am not a staunch Republican. I'm not a Democrat either. I'm just an average American. Actually, I guess I'm above average American because I'm one of the few people that actually, you know, joined the military in order to defend this country. But it throws me for a loop. Because I don't understand it. Why can't people just I can accept you being a Democrat. I can accept you being a leftist. I can even accept you being an extreme leftist. I have some very good friends that are young, probably technically Democrats. One of them is non-binary, pansexual. They know who they are. And I'm okay with that. She's a good person. But she's also an individual. She doesn't identify as a group. I just think if we could get rid of the groupthink, that maybe we could have some actual progress achieved between the Democrats and the Republicans. You know, don't vote for someone because they're running on a particular ticket. Vote based on the issues that they focus on. You know? And if they have a history of attacking the Second Amendment and you're a Second Amendment supporter, don't vote for them. If they have a history of hatred towards non-traditional marriage or, you know, being transgender, you know, don't vote for them. Look at their history. Look at what they've done. And then look at what they're talking about now. If their message is consistent and you like their message, then you vote for them. Not because they're Republican or not because they're Democrat. That's just how I look at it. Being individuals is what defines us. It defines who we are. I don't belong to a group. Now, there are groups you could put me in. You could put me in male. You can put me in white. You can put me in veteran. You could put me in middle-aged. You could put me in lower middle class. You can put me in those groups, but that's not how I identify myself. I'm an individual. I'm me. I'm unique. You know, I believe in marriage because marriage is a societal contract. I'm going to be dedicated to you. You're going to be dedicated to me. We're going to stay together no matter what the hell happens. And, we're going to show love and affection for each other for the rest of our lives. I don't care if you're a man or a woman. That's what marriage is supposed to be. It's supposed to be a contract between two people. It's a business arrangement with an underlying theme of love and affection, which is what we all need. All people need love and affection. Now, we all have different love languages, which is another psychological thing that, a lot of people are kind of becoming aware of. Some people, when someone does something for you, that's your love language, right? When someone is physically affectionate, that's your love language. But it's different for everybody because we're all individuals. Take a look at astrology, okay? And I know it's not scientific, but that's okay. According to the tenets of astrology, depending on the time period you were born in, it affects certain aspects of your personality. And I've read several studies on the personality traits of people born, in these astrological signs. And a lot of times, they're accurate. They describe your personality pretty well. And the interactions between people with different personality. Again, there's no scientific evidence to prove it, and it's not a science because it's not consistent. But for the bulk of the time, for most people born in those astrological signs, those is fairly accurate. Scorpios like me are very confrontational and aggressive. Competitive, But again, identifying as a Scorpio, I just happen to be a Scorpio, okay? I'm me. You're you. And you need to think that way. And that's the problem, is that we don't think that way. And that goes for the right and the left. It really does. Well, I'm Christian, so this. Okay. You can be Christian and still support gay marriage. Well, how can that be? Well, guess what? It's called being open-minded. Just because you feel like you are going to go to heaven for obeying the tenets of God doesn't mean that the guy next to you in the pew who has a husband is necessarily going to hell. Because guess what? Inspired by God, written by God, whatever, the Bible is not fallible or not infallible. Okay? We know that there's missing text. We know that some of the translations are incorrect. I mean, we're talking about going from ancient Hebrew to Greek and then eventually on to English. Latin and then English. So, who's to say any of it's accurate to the original interpretation? Or to the original writings? Again, it's this groupthink, this group identity thing, and it's a problem. You have to identify as yourself. You might fall into certain groups due to an accident of birth, like I was born white, I was born male, I was born straight. But, I mean, come on. Anyway, that I know I've been going rant on and stuff, but just bear with me. We have to stop this group identity crap. We have to identify as individuals. That's all there is to it. And that goes for everybody. the left, the right, the center, whatever. I believe in legalized medical marijuana. I believe in recreational marijuana should be legalized. And I've been saying that for a very long time. And I don't smoke marijuana. This is not marijuana. It's just a regular old pipe. It's just regular old $2 freaking pipe tobacco. But I look at what it's done for Colorado, and honestly, if alcohol is legal to drink and cigarettes are legal to smoke, why not marijuana? But that's not a very conservative idea. Conservatives don't like that. That's why I'm not a conservative or Republican or whatever the hell you want to call it. That's why I identify as an individual. And anyone who calls me a Republican for something that I say, or they call me a ignorant Trump supporter for something I say, they're forcing that group identity on me, and I hate that. I hate that more than anything. Don't project on me. I'm me. Period. And there's only one of me. Thank God, because the world would be in trouble if there was more than one. All right. That's all I got to say. This has gone on long enough. I'm just, rant over. Fractured logic. See ya.